Greetings, superior beings, greetings, supreme being. We are all the human race. Our common enemy is death. Welcome on Try Something.Vegetarian, my YouTube channel. I'm Ulrich Hoffman. This is the broadcast. Global microwave radiation, main cause of climate change. Ban 5G cancer cell phone radiation. Use Scalar. What have I planned for you all in this magnificent broadcast? I've already done 2 other broadcasts about this subject, but all from a different angle. And, well, the main thing that I want to cover is this article here on stop5g.net, network exposing 5G psychotechnocrats. There was a term used a while ago as well, psychotronic, this beat is psychotronic or something. Mass microwave radiation affects global climate change. Stop local 5G and 5G satellites. Global microwave radiation, main cause of climate change. So that's the article I want to cover, but I ran into a special article. There's this one. India, Israel to jointly work for development of 5G technology on gadgetsnow.com. And I think I'll have to read it myself. The problem is if I copy this with a speech engine like this, then it reads only part of the title or part of the selected text, and then it starts giving a link to Gadgets Now. So that's quite impossible. No country in the world has 5G technology, while some companies claim to have tested 5G technology. July 24th, 2013, this was written already. New Delhi, India and Israel have agreed to work jointly on development of 5th generation 5G telecom technologies. Sources said the matter was discussed during the visit of Telecom and IT Minister Kapil Sibal to Israel last month, they said. Sibal and his Israeli counterpart Gilad Erdan in a meeting agreed that both the countries can cooperate on exploring the possibilities of standard formulation, development and manufacturing in the area of 4G and 5G telecom technology. So that's probably where they got that statement from. Diversity for all countries but Israel, where 5G is produced but not used. Israel has technology and innovation, India has the capital and market, the 2 areas which emerged out of discussion related to telecom were reducing roaming charges between India and Israel and exploring the possibilities of standard formulation, research and development and manufacturing in the area of 4G and 5G, a DOT official said, DOT official. So that's not Department of Defense. At present, Indian telecom operators are providing 3G and some 4G services. So that's another important point. People cannot test this yet, but they can test the cancer cell phone radiation. They can use a cancer cell phone. It's a reproducible test. You can do at home the lumping red blood cell test. So you just need a microscope, get some blood from your finger, make a port d'entrée, put it under the microscope, and then you can see your blood cells swimming. And also sperm can be put under a microscope. So that's educational, it's fun for kids also. And if you have a microscope with USB ocular, then you can put it on YouTube as well. So if you use a cancer cell phone for 90 seconds, then you have lumping red blood cells, a symptom known to doctors as rouleau. Perhaps I can show a little picture. I've shown this page in my previous broadcast as well, but there are many other studies which I've also covered in my previous broadcast, especially that one page. I hope I can still find it. Oh yeah, I've put it in the previous broadcast for sure, links to these pictures, so you can use this stop sign, stop 5G. So this is the imgur.com address, where you can download it and sticker it or print it on a piece of paper or on articles about banning 5G, the moratorium, or whatever you want to call it. So here we see 999 Prologic 999.blog2blog.nl with the Auswirkungen eines Handytelefonats von nur 90 Sekunden Dauer. So it's in German, but you can see the pictures and you can do this test at home. So that's fun and learning experience. Test everything you learn. This blood test shows people who have used a Cancercellphone for only 90 seconds have dumping red blood cells called rouleaux by doctors and rolls of coins by others. That's of course to sell the Cancercellphone antenna network to reduce the global population. The lumping together of these red blood cells stops after 40 minutes in a shielded environment. So it also causes DNA breaks and chromosomal damage and cancer. And I'm looking for the other page. I was watching this NYU DC conversation, the boycott, divestment and sanctions BDS movement. And I was thinking that it's weird that the US gets to boycott, sanction Iran basically. So they're not allowed to transport cancer oil to China and India. I don't know what happens if they do it anyway. But if a vessel is sunk, then it would not be unimaginable that Russia would attack the US and the World War would start to reduce the global population to 500 million and build a third temple in the place where now the beautiful Al-Aqsa Mosque is standing. So basically, isn't that weird that they are trying to make that forbidden for other countries, but they themselves use it, sanctioning and boycotting all the time. And then we see the depleted uranium children, and now with the 5G thing. I think it was in the Owen Benjamin chat or some other chat where lots of people wrote BDS. So all these people in the chat wrote hashtag BDS. I still have to study it. I don't know if it's illegal in the Netherlands. In Germany, I think they recently made it illegal. So perhaps I won't do a broadcast about it even. But I think it's weird that, of course, people can always boycott anyone they want. They can buy that product from a Monsanto company or from other companies. So I'm for boycotting Monsanto. I don't advocate boycotting a whole country, but some people do. And the question is, should they have the freedom to do so? If people want to boycott the Netherlands or some other country and make a group, because in this case they claim it's about the legality. Let's see the English version. They claim that Israel is doing illegal stuff and they will boycott, divest and sanction for it until they comply. So let's see if this is also available in English according to international law. So they have to live up to their obligations in compliance with international law or something like that. Let's see if the English version has that as well. Yes, the BDS campaign urges various forms of non-violent, punitive measures against Israel not the Jewish people as a whole, until it complies with the precepts of international law. These measures should bring about ending its occupation, because some people want to pretend it's racist, but I've studied it a bit and I don't find why they'd supposedly be racist or anti-Semitic, nor homophobic. As a matter of fact, I think they have it in their manifesto or whatever that they are not, and that they're against that in reality. So this is purely about ethics and activists who are trying to do the right thing that should be stimulated and not prevented from taking action that will make a better future for the people in the Gaza Strip, the people of Israel, for everyone. So ending its occupation and colonization of all Arab lands and dismantling the wall, recognizing the fundamental rights of the Arab Palestinian citizens of Israel to full equality. All speech errors are made by their synthetic telepathy neural network voice of God weapon, by the way, so that's extremely annoying, and it's continuous sabotage and remote directed energy weapon torture, so I'm against that, and I hope they are caught soon. Also, the people that advocate population reduction are arrested. 190 dead protesters in Gaza. That can be another reason for people to say, well, we have to draw that line somewhere, and then I'd rather give that money to other countries that need it more than Israel. Respecting, protecting, and promoting the rights of Palestinian refugees to return to their homes and properties as stipulated in UN Resolution 194. So yeah, you could argue Israel should also open its borders. But I guess that's not going to happen. So you can read the rest of this article on gadgetsnow.com. Now, I can read the rest, I guess. Don't know if it's allowed. No country in the world has 5G technology, while some companies claim to have tested 5G technology. There have been claims by companies that 5G technology will be in place by 2020. Well, if it would be, then it would have to be destroyed. So it's illegal to place that, and public health is more important, way more important than your money scheme to reduce the global population, isn't it? The versions of technology 2G, 3G, etc. are labeled on the basis of internet speed they offer on mobile devices. Well, I can make 720p videos, etc. And I think many people are not waiting for that, and they think their health is far more important. And why not just replace it with Tesla's Scalar technology? Perhaps this will never be rolled out if there's a world war, and the EMP will hopefully erase their plans completely. So be prepared with that radiological water filter and storable food. No excuse not to be in a civilized country. Technology experts believe 5G technology will enable people to have a fiber network-like user experience on a wireless connection. It can provide speed of 10 gigabit per second, internet speed, which is 100 times faster than the mobile technology used these days. Well, they have synthetic telepathy, can't they use that then? Then we can completely lose these Cancercellphones. It's on already, we know that. So the Malig patent describes how people are mind controlled. I call it brain control because I mind control. The Indian government has started a process to, quote, constitute joint working group, unquote, to work in the area of 4 Cancer G and 5 Cancer G. Follow Gadgets now on Facebook and Twitter for the latest news, tech news, breaking news, headlines, and live updates. Check out gadgetsnow.com. So are they the only ones reporting about this? Perhaps I should start with my own writings always. Cabal, a secret political clique or faction. 5G is poison, radiation poisoning is real. 5G, millions of dead birds falling from the sky. Yeah, that's from chemtrails. A bloody macabre joke, because if it's caused by 5G, then they pretend it's from chemtrails and vice versa. Chemtrails in America, CIA. Debating master. In July 2013. So these can also be remarks of the perpetrators, basically, or ideas induced by them that I don't find funny either. But sometimes I have some reason that I find it interesting to write it down anyway. So that's a variation of masturbating, and that's healthy, so I thought, why not? In July 2013, India and Israel agreed to work jointly on development of 5th generation 5G telecom technologies. On 6 November 2013, Huawei announced plans to invest a minimum of 600 million into research and development (R&D) for next generation 5G networks capable of speeds 100 times faster than modern LTE networks. Wiki/5G. Tesla's radiant energy would be much faster than Cancercellphone radiation, so the only reason they are doing this is to reduce the global population. Theory active resistance to the Jesuits and Masons is impossible. They are the only ones that can make a difference. Our future can only be saved from the inside. There are a lot of other reasons I am anti-5G, and we all should be prepared. Stop 5G, stop sign, image on Imgur, spread sticker, imgur.com, GAOGCNL. And /89FCICE. The whole universe is a light dot in infinite nothingness, perhaps. 5 noses, 5 gays, 5 global governments. 5G Masonic, really? Isn't 5G Israeli? India, Israel. So whose idea was this in the first place? Perhaps I'll read this one as well. I doubt if there's anybody watching this, but if you are watching this live, then you can write something in the chat. And then it will appear on the screen. And YouTube censoring is on, so I don't know how many of your messages would get through. But hopefully it's censored enough not to ruin this broadcast. So let's start reading stop5g.net.
Mass microwave radiation affects global climate change? Stop local 5G and 5G satellites. Posted July 15, 2018 by admin and filed under 5G accountability, 5G cancer, 5G cover-up, 5G crisis, 5G health risk assessment, 5G health risks, 5G news, 5G satellites, chemtrails, electro-hypersensitivity, electromagnetic warfare, EMF technology, health hazards, microwave radiation, military-grade technology, news, science, Stop 5G, Stop 5G activism, Stop 5G news, Stop 5G related, Stop5G.net, Surveillance Society, Wi-Fi radiation, fb.com/groups/stop5g, fb.me/stop5g, twitter.com/stop5g, geoengineering harpiscat 5G satellites, stop5g.net, geoengineering harpiscat 5G satellites, stop5g.net. Global microwave.
So I just did a broadcast, previous one, about 26 to 36, now perhaps there are 36,000 scientists that have signed the petition to ban 5G. And there are many other reasons besides the health risk, the cancer risk increase, and the fact that 5G and cancer cell phone radiation are damaging to your health. And the amount should be below 0.1 microwatt per square meter according to building biologists, so that's a good idea to get that measuring instrument. And probably for 5G, because it's a higher frequency, you'd have to check that as well. So they'll have to create new measuring instruments that can measure higher frequencies. Perhaps up to 26 gigahertz or something.
Radiation main cause of climate change. Several companies are now competing to provide not just cell phone service, but Wi-Fi and the equivalent of 5G, to every square inch of the Earth from satellites in space in low Earth orbit. Their target dates are 2019 or 2020. They are planning tens of thousands of satellites. There isn't much time to prevent a global ecological catastrophe. Planned global Wi-Fi from space will destroy ozone layer, worsen climate change, and threaten life on Earth. Welcome to Global Climate Change and Microwaves. This website is dedicated to the alternative global warming or climate change theory that microwave radio frequencies are polluting our atmosphere and Earth. Another similar theory to this is the broadcast theory. The basis of the microwave theory is that microwave radio frequency communications a direct relationship with global warming and climate change. The climate change and global warming problem can be a result of the use of radio waves on a global level. Here we will learn briefly about global warming or climate change, how satellites work, the principles behind the microwave radio frequency, and how orbiting satellites and Earth antennas can cause global RF heating and erratic weather patterns. Wave pattern changing weather pattern, radio, microwave wave changing weather pattern. The theory in a nutshell: some say that microwaves used by wireless, radar, mobile, and satellites are so weak that they could not affect the world. This is somewhat true. The broadcast or global microwave theories are not trying to fool you into thinking the world is melting because of intense heat generated by the waves. The theory in a nutshell is that the constant wave bombardment affects the natural pattern and flow of the Earth's atmosphere. The heating and molecular friction caused by RF and microwave frequencies cause erratic weather patterns. The broadcast and global microwave theories introduce many different concepts that most global warming and climate change advocates do not consider. The depth of the theory involves the use of all microwaves in general across the world, from cell phone towers, radar systems, GPS, weather stations, HARP, and more. The impact ranges from personal health, the pollution of the Earth, global weather to the entire aspect of life on Earth. It is worthwhile to consider this view of climate change and global warming. Microwave radio frequencies and Earth orbiting satellites are causing global warming or climate change. Microwave radio frequencies dominate the Earth with millions of subscribers. Since the late 1950s, microwave radio frequencies have become the dominant form of communication for TVs, cell phones, weather stations, and a host of others uses. Each of these companies having millions of subscribers. Satellite transmitters and Earth antennas transmit UHF and higher microwave frequencies all over the planet. Just like a vacuum tube in old electronic technology, microwaves are insulated by the vacuum of space. Because the vacuum of space acts as an insulator, microwave radio frequencies are scattered through our atmosphere at an accelerated rate. The Earth is a rotating electromagnetic field containing a dielectric material called water. Sending oscillating microwave radio frequencies through an electromagnetic field into a dielectric material, such as water, creates radio frequency heating, also called RF heating, at the molecular level of water. Because Earth's electromagnetic field points directly towards the North Pole and the Earth's atmosphere is circulating through ordinary convection towards the North Pole, the RF and microwave transmissions are guided directly towards the polar ice caps. This is causing erratic weather patterns which in turn affect the polar ice caps. Since our atmosphere is made of water and the Earth is covered with water and ice, microwave radio frequencies pass through our atmosphere, oceans, and ice caps. Because the wattage levels are minimal, weather change is caused by a constant flow of waves that are never turned off. Global warming or climate change is exacerbated by the mass use of artificial satellites and the use of microwave radio frequencies. The Industrial Revolution happened at the beginning of the 1800s. Yet, in the late 1950s is when global warming or climate change became an issue. We can see that global warming or climate change only became an issue with the mass use of radio and microwave frequencies. Greenhouse gases are not the cause. The evidence that is provided by scientists is not pointing to global warming but climate change. The global ice is decreasing, however, the Antarctic ice is increasing. According to NASA, sea ice increases in Antarctica do not make up for the accelerated Arctic sea ice loss of the last decades, a new NASA study finds. As a whole, the planet has been shedding sea ice at an average annual rate of 13,500 square miles, 35,000 square kilometers, since 1979, the equivalent of losing an area of sea ice larger than the state of Maryland every year. February 10, 2015, NASA study shows global sea ice diminishing, despite Antarctic gains. This fact has caused great alarm all over the world. In an attempt to solve the issue of the disappearing ice, some scientists have developed different global warming or climate change theories. The most popular theory is the greenhouse gas theory. According to the theory, gases emitted from fossil fuel burning vehicles are blocking outgoing radiation. Greenhouse gases block radiation from leaving the Earth and also block radiation from entering into the Earth's atmosphere. It stands to reason that if radiation is being blocked from leaving the Earth's atmosphere, then it is also being blocked from entering in. This creates an equilibrium between escaping radiation and entering radiation called the radiation budget or the Earth's energy balance.
So I'm looking at this picture of the ripple clouds, of course, chemtrails, the cloud seeding patterns, CIA's evergreen aviation, and there's also a picture of Trump and Merkel in the Cancer chemtrail plane. That's something they lie about as well. They want to pretend that they are cancer contrails. They like fooling the people, like magicians, illusionists. It gives them a sense of power and safety, perhaps. So that's done in combination with radiation. It's called geoengineering, and it's one of the 10 mainstream media blackout subjects. We continue to stop 5G nets.
Danish Solar Energy Int. says, trying to relate calculations made for the top of the atmosphere to the surface is a problem because up to 70% of incoming radiation can be blocked by the atmosphere and cloud cover. Salsa Limited, Danish Solar Energy Int. As gases increase in the atmosphere, less of the sun's radiation can enter into the Earth's atmosphere, which in turn, causes less radiation to be trapped by the Earth's atmosphere. The greenhouse gas theory proponents counter this argument by saying the sun radiation wavelength is shorter than the wavelength of the radiation reflecting back from Earth. Radiation wavelength and greenhouse effect. The problem is that the greenhouse effect of the Earth is a normal process. The Earth will naturally process the sun's rays, greenhouse gases, and other climate occurrences and balance them out. The Earth having a greenhouse effect does not necessitate that the polar ice caps melting. In fact, is that while the polar or global ice is decreasing, the Antarctic ice is increasing. What is happening is a realignment of the weather patterns or climate change and not a global warming. Top. The radiation budget. The below illustration demonstrates how ultraviolet radiation from space is actually blocked by our clouds and atmosphere. Information and statistics from UDL. As more gases are emitted into our atmosphere, less radiation can enter to the Earth's surface. This is a geographical fact. See UDL in NASA. This is why the greenhouse gas theory has some big holes in it. The Earth is not warming in the way the proponents of the greenhouse gas theory claim. The below illustration demonstrates how the atmosphere, the Earth's surface, absorbs and reflects the sun's rays. The reception of the sun's rays from space has a percentage of absorption and reflection that is dependent on the Earth's atmosphere and surface.
So cloud seeding against chemtrails, the dispersal of cancer-causing barium, also prevents it from raining. It's like God is holding a white sheet of paper against the sky continuously. But on the other hand, the cancer chemtrails also trap the heat between the Earth and the layer made with the clouds to warm up our planet, to cause man-made global warming. Of course, it's a satanic inversion, so they pretend they're doing the opposite. Like they pretend they want to bring peace to the Middle East, while in reality splitting them up in two groups, a two-state solution. Perhaps that was their plan, a two-state solution, world war. Jesuits and Masons, when I talk about they, then I mean the people in control of these intelligence agencies, which are all Masonic and controlled by the Jesuits, according to citizensactionnetwork.com. So what was I talking about? I have time. I should just relax. The cancer chemtrails that trap the heat. Oh yeah, so they pretend that they do it to cool down the planet. But in reality, it's to warm up the planet for the eco-tax money scam. Of course, these are NASA Freemasons, Luciferian UN Freemasons that have infiltrated governments around the world and that are working on reducing global population to 500 million and imposing their satanic Luciferian totalitarian global government. And it's possible they have planned a world war. When you look at that logo of the Baha'i, that looks like a nuclear explosion, and then Lucifer, the light bringer. Well, nukes make a lot of light when they explode, and these blast craters are real, so I'm beginning to doubt the nuclear weapons hoax story. Well, I found the other piece that I've read out in that was also on this website better, about the chlorine in the rocket propellant that breaks down the ozone layer. So how can they leave that out of the list of precious man-made global warming causes, or supposed man-made global warming causes, because they first have to prove that it's man-made and not natural global warming, natural warm period or natural ice age period, etc. Or does it make no difference? If we're heating up, then we should cool it down, and if we're cooling down, we should heat it up. Some people have predicted that geoengineering will cause the next ice age, and it's very well possible because the natural reaction to cold will be warmth, etc., and they're modifying the jet stream. And we've read already about what electromagnetic fields are doing to nature, to us, and it's becoming clearer and clearer. 1 in 2 of you will get cancer, according to Medscape, and if that doesn't ring all the alarms, then there's something wrong.
The illustration shows that 65% is absorbed and 35% is reflected. Of the 35% that is reflected, only 4% is actually reflected from the surface of the Earth. This also can decrease with the emission more particles into the atmosphere. What does this mean? It means the amount of gases in the atmosphere creates less sun rays from entering to the surface, in turn creating less reflection of those rays from the Earth. The greenhouse effect is normal behavior for the Earth, climate change and not global warming. The weather is changing more than it is warming. This shows that the greenhouse gas theory falls short of an adequate explanation of what is happening in our climate. Global average temperature is one of the most cited indicators of global climate change, and shows an increase of approximately 1.4 degrees Fahrenheit since the early 20th century. NOAA, Global Climate Change Indicators. According to the actual evidence, the Earth has warmed 1.4 degrees Fahrenheit from over 100 years. There is not enough evidence to show that this is abnormal. The timeline that is presented by the greenhouse gas proponents starts in 1880. What the actual temperature fluctuation was in the thousands of years prior to 1880 is pure speculation. The percentage of warmth globally is insignificant and there is not enough actual data from years prior to 1880 to support the greenhouse gas theory. We also don't have enough actual data of the fluctuation of the size and formation of the polar ice caps. We only have the recent images from satellite and aerial photography.
So, I actually think that the atmospheric heaters are the main man-made global warming cause, if there is any man-made global warming, which I have not been able to prove to myself yet with the help of NASA's websites and other websites about this topic. I've done other broadcasts about this on my channel, try Something.Vegetarian, so check it out. And yeah, then on that list, besides atmospheric heaters and cancer chemtrails and space travel, there may be other causes of man-made global warming they're conveniently leaving out, though they may be a much bigger influence than the things they are talking about. Though I am for using sea energy, which is more efficient than wind energy. I think all these windmills, these wind turbines are just there to give us the illusion the government has gone green. But in reality, they just want to sell the same energy for 10 times the amount they're selling it for now. That makes sense, they just want money, you know.
Video on the Earth's energy balance top. The microwave field. The below image demonstrates how microwave transmissions work with the environment. Microwaves scatter through the atmosphere, whereas
I think they don't just want money, that's just part of the population reduction and total control, what a military order should pursue. Is another discussion you could argue.
Solar radiation does not. As the microwaves penetrate to the surface, the water, ice, and atmosphere have microwave frequencies passing through them. This causes friction in the ice and water at the molecular level. This friction causes heat, which is called radio frequency heating. This is the basic principle behind the microwave.
I think they should just pursue peace, no controlled wars that cost too much money, too many lives of US soldiers, they're illegal wars, and they make too many enemies, and especially they create too many terrorists with their depleted uranium, war crime, etc. You have Vietnam, Iraq, and a list of other countries, Yemen, Syria. And it's possible they just want permanent bases in these countries in the Middle East for their third Jesuit World War, to annihilate 7 billion people and rule the world from Jerusalem. And they'd be claiming the opposite is true, they just want to create world peace, but in reality they have a universal war policy, according to Eric John Phelps, VaticanAssassin's.org, also controlled opposition flat earther. And I don't know if they're doing censoring, banning flat earthers thing, basically, with Alex Jones and some others. I think Eric Dubé is still on YouTube. And I think he may be the best controlled opposition with most educational videos, also great rap videos. I like him, he's vegan, I'm vegan, and I'm vegetarian actually, because if it's good enough for calves, it's good enough for me, basically, based on the Prince statement, because cows are for calves or something like that. We're dealing with cancer chemtrails and tap water, poisoned tap water also. So I think that it's possible that the cow filters out things that are in it for the calf, basically. That's at least the idea I like to have when I'm consuming something that's from the teat of a cow, basically. But that's mainly because of tap water, because these vegan products, the better cheese without the lactose-free products, basically often contain water, and that's not filtered in any way. And if there are T4 nanobots in there that take away your instinct for self-preservation, and that can replicate in your brain, T4, you can Google it, T4 nanobots are real, and usually they show some animation, an airbrush, but they've had nanobots and nanotechnology for a long time as well now. So the nano death chippies are real, and they cause heart attacks and brain bleedings. And it's possible if you have pain in your neck. My theory about this is that this could be Zika, and you need to take colloidal silver and probiotics to immunize yourselves against their designer viruses anyway. And it's possible that it's a minimum requirement to survive what is coming: a radiological water filter and storable food, and a shelter below ground, below the blast wave. Then you're good to go. So let's continue reading this magnificent article, stop5g.net.
11. Click here for a great explanation of radio frequency heating. The microwave budget. Microwave transmitters shoot conically in a large direction. The waves are hitting everything, not just antennas. It was not until UHF frequencies in 1952 and the space race began did global warming or climate change become an issue. Since the late 1950s, there have been thousands of satellites launched into outer space and even more antennas built that transmit to those satellites on Earth. These satellites orbit Earth in polar and geostationary orbits. One satellite covers an area the size of North America.
So we know that microwaves increase the temperature of the eyeball, the human body, and also ice absorbs microwaves, but by how many degrees exactly? If you know some interesting study or somewhere where it's listed, it may differ from material to material. I think things with water may heat up more than air, for example, but I'm not sure. But anyway, it's helping to create global warming. It's not helping to cool it down, which may be the wishful thinking thing that they want to pretend or hope for.
With the overlapping of each satellite footprint, it is clear that as we increase the amount of satellite transmissions and the use of microwave transmissions on Earth, the global warming or climate change of the Earth increases. Global warming or climate change becomes a greater issue with the increase of communications on Earth and with satellites and the use of microwave frequencies. Today there are satellite TV, internet, GPS trackers, cell phones, radar, HARP and a host of other uses that are increasing by the day, with each of these products having millions of subscribers. DirecTV alone has 16.8 million customers. The amount of microwave transmissions entering in and out of our atmosphere is staggering. It is not just a few hundred, but millions of waves. Top. The solution to global warming or climate change. Global warming or climate change is caused by the use of UHF and higher microwave frequencies at an enormous rate. The use of these frequencies must be restricted. Greenhouse gases are not the cause of global warming, and cutting greenhouse gases will never stop global warming or climate change. The use of microwave radio frequencies has a direct link with global warming or climate change. Microwave transmissions are causing RF heating on a global level. Trash satellites litter space. There are many active satellites in orbit, and wireless companies are perpetuating their products by the millions, and everything is inclined to go wireless. Cleaning up the trash in space and restricting the use of microwave radio transmissions are the solution to global warming or climate change. Top, worse than global warming, Wave Technology 95 pages, Safe Goods, October 1, 2007.
So if one day they'd switch to healing scalar waves, basically, would that also affect our climate? Would it heat up the atmosphere more or less? And the idea is using scalar waves, just radiant energy of Nikola Tesla, produce and use healing frequencies for communication and for everything you do with it, instead of just frequency chosen at random or chosen to reduce global population, like 50 Hertz, cancer-causing frequencies, and of course the 440 Hertz tuning, selected to induce hysteria and maintain the wars. Dr. Horowitz has more information about musical cult control, interesting article. So peace and love to Dr. Horowitz then. And I would like to see some more evidence for this claim. Greenhouse gases are not the cause of global warming, and cutting greenhouse gases will never stop global warming or climate change. How do they know that so surely or certain, or how can they be so certain about this? Was it in what we've read thus far? I haven't followed it that much. But what is the reason? What could be the reason that greenhouse gases are not the cause of global warming, and cutting greenhouse gases will never stop global warming or climate change? Well, of course, you still have natural climate change after that, warm periods, ice ages. And of course, species can also go extinct naturally. So I think we need to protect the humans and the earth, both of them to a certain extent, but the humans come first, because the earth is just a rock, 75% water, and everything that is supposedly polluting our earth is from the earth itself. So you could argue we're just giving it back. That's very simplistic. I am for using cleaner soap so that red tide does not occur anymore. And they will reap what they sow. If they pollute the ocean, then that will pollute their fish. And if they're not vegetarian, they will eat that fish and thus punish themselves. You could argue they're do-gooders.
There exists today a distinct threat to all of civilization as we know it. The unchecked proliferation of electromagnetic technology worldwide can wipe out all that we rely upon. Frequency saturation of the precious envelope of air surrounding our planet may today be affecting her stability. All our efforts to rectify global warming may be in vain should our new weapons and technology cause a major axis shift to Earth. Are the ancient prophecies warning us not?
So do they think if the Earth would be overpopulated that it would not naturally settle because there's not enough food and stuff, people would start dying, it would be solved naturally? Why are they so worried about this? And I think that education is the best way to reduce the global population, since educated people have a lower birth rate. And in relation to that, I think in countries where you have no-go zones, it would be wise to close the borders temporarily until the immigrants in no-go zones, until the immigrants are integrated, not assimilated, but integrated, and the no-go zones have disappeared, and people are happy and living in peace with the rest of the population. And I think that's achievable. Everything is energy, everything is possible, infinite ways to do it, infinite options. Infinite light? I'd have to think about it. Stars die and stars are born. It could be true or not. Perhaps some NASA people could contact me, then we could have a debate about this issue.
To repeat their mistakes? Can electromagnetic pulse weapons wipe out our electricity-based infrastructure? Will we trigger a pulse shift? Is weather modification technology being used as a weapon? Does science consider the long-term effects of atmospheric frequency saturation? Is global warming a natural occurrence or are we accelerating it? Microwaving Our Planet, 1997, author Furstenberg. http://www.avate.org/mg/microwaving_our_planet_Furstenberg.doc.
Ah, that's a beautiful ripple clouds picture. Alright, well, instead of silence, we can also read another article. I think I wanted to read this one as well. But then I'd rather read that part about chlorine again. I think that's also well written. They're hurting my right upper brain half, possibly with a remotely controlled insect or hymen of DARPA. Okay. That's also weird. I'm using Balabolka, and then when I select the text and copy it, then it doesn't start to read, though it's supposed to do that. And I think it's possible, judged on the types of articles, that they're blocking the reading of the speech engine theoretically. They do it with some articles and others they don't. So it's just an indication that this is stuff they don't want you to know, to kill you all. And then we should have the idea it's better if we skip this, and then we're part of the population reduction, and then we're saved ourselves. Oh yeah, aiding and abetting terrorists and funding terrorism, population reduction is all okay, but racism, homophobia and anti-Semitism, ooh, then your channel is removed. Okay, clipboard watch was off this time, but in reality often you can see and hear me click and select the text that I copy is not read by the speech engine. Clipboard watch is on, and now it probably works. First time I copy the text, so I can already turn off my microphone.
Unite all countries to bestow maximum fulfillment upon humanity. Peaceinspace.blogs.com updated. Model Statute and World Treaty Conference banning 5G, due directed energy and neurotic mind control weapons. The 5G infrastructure would pose a threat to our planet's atmosphere. Network implementation will require the deployment of many, short lifespan satellites via suborbital rockets propelled by hydrocarbon rocket engines. According to this 2010 California study, launching too many of these babies will vomit enough black carbon into the atmosphere to pollute global atmospheric conditions, affecting distribution of ozone and temperature. Worse, Solid-state rocket exhaust contains chlorine, an ozone-destroying chemical. How can any government seriously concerned about climate change allow for this? Stop 5G. Why not news.eu? It is well known Cancercellphone radiation, microwaves, heat up the Earth's atmosphere as well. Cancer-causing microwave ovens are an offense. It's true, cancer microwave ovens are best known for heating up matter, mainly food. Unsafety standards make people believe otherwise. It is known the microwaves heat up the air and our body temperature and contribute to global warming. Hirata A. Matsuyama S. Shizawa T. 2000. Temperature rises in the human eye exposed to M waves in the frequency range 0.6 to 6 GHz. IEEE Trans, Electroman, Compat. 42, 386 393. Does anybody know how much the UMTS, GSM, Bluetooth and Wi-Fi LANs heat up our environment exactly? By how many degrees Celsius? Stop UMTS.nl. If it controls our minds, no one of us would attempt to switch it off, in theory.
So if they'd switch off these Cancercellphone antennas, could that trigger the next ice age? Or is the opposite true? If you make something colder, then nature's reaction is to make it hotter. It's known the flow of cold and warm air, etc. And rain and thunderstorms also lately that I've reported about on my channel. First time in my life I saw continuous lightning without any thunder strikes. Though there were thunder strikes before and after the lightning that I filmed with my Lumix G7. I also did a broadcast in Dutch about this for people who are interested in that. I also covered people who think Trump is a crypto Jew. I plan to make other broadcasts also about gaming device that I have. What is this? Oh, that's a rather old article. So I don't know about Bitcoin. I doubt if that's very safe. And perhaps I'll edit out. I clicked on this article by accident. And I think they did it with synthetic telepathy, so it's weird. Normally I wouldn't click on that. So yeah, why not scalar waves? Why must we use these cancer microwaves, Cancercellphone radiation? Is it just to reduce the global population, also with some vaccines?
Major Dutch breakthrough quantum internet - no microwaves, no Wi-Fi needed. Posted June 15, 2018 by admin and filed under 5G News. 5G transhumanism, electro-hypersensitivity, electromagnetic warfare, EMF technology, health hazards, how to stop 5G, news, quantum internet, solutions, stop 5G news, stop 5G related, stop5g.net, Wi-Fi radiation, fb.com/groups/stop5g, fb.me/stop5g, Twitter.com/stop5G Quantum Internet Stop 5G Quantum Internet Stop 5G. A major breakthrough has been made at TU Delft. Researchers have succeeded in making a well-functioning quantum connection that can be used for a future form of the Internet. That is a bit complicated, but let's keep it simple. Quantum connection runs on the idea that, for reasons that nobody understands, even though it does work, there is a connection between two quantum particles. That is called quantum entanglement, or entanglement. Again, how that works is unclear, but it works. How does quantum internet work? That is therefore bizarre, but it also means that you can send data through that system. After that entanglement between the particles is established, two light particles are released that are also entangled. Then you can move one of the two light particles in all sorts of ways. Because sending light, we could already do that. It is possible through our fiber optic connection, but it can also be radiated via satellite. That is even better, because at the moment there is noise when you move the particles through fiber and it does not come that far. And now comes the trick. That quantum state of those particles has the remarkable property that if you do something with it, like looking at it, or copying the particle changes, so you can check if a particle arrives or if it has been sent undisturbed, and you can be sure that no one has seen the data. This makes it virtually impossible to intercept, and that would mean that in any case no data can be intercepted between sender and receiver. What did TU Delft do then? Research into these quantum particles is already underway in various countries and laboratories, but TU Delft has now made a big step in entangling the particles. That was still in the heavily experimental phase, and it took forever, especially in internet terms, to intertwine two particles. A new technique now makes it possible to entangle a particle up to 40 times per second, and then you are at a speed that you can really start testing with quantum internet. Of course, that is the next thing they will do, so a connection is now being established between Amsterdam, Delft, Leiden and The Hague. It should be functional by 2020. In the four cities a kind of extremely strong fridges will be put down which are needed to intertwine particles, and these will then be connected to the regular optical fiber network. That is where the interlaced light particles go through, and if that all works according to plan, there is a start of the quantum internet. Competition. Hopefully they are the first. Indeed, researchers at MIT and in a lab in China are also quite far behind. There was also a demonstration earlier of sending quantum particles via satellite by a Chinese party. Satellites are extra interesting, because the noise that occurs when sending the light particles does not occur in the vacuum of the room. Quantum entanglement has tremendous potential, but for now it would be a feast if we can stably and consistently set up this form of communication, and with a bit of luck this will soon be the first in the Netherlands. Source article above. QTech needs great students with the drive and talent to help us accelerate the effort to build a quantum computer and a large-scale quantum internet. Join us at the QTech Academy, http://qtech.nl/edu/. MOOC Quantum Computers and Internet. There is no doubt that quantum computers and the quantum internet will have a great impact on our world, but we don't yet know quite how. As with traditional computers, we will only see the effects in the decades to come. Starting 20 March, you can learn all about this in the new online course Quantum Computers and Quantum Internet. How can they change the world? Enroll now via edX.org. This course will provide you with a basic understanding of quantum computing and the quantum internet. You will peek into the fascinating world of quantum phenomena, such as qubits, superposition and entanglement. QTech's top scientists.
Okay, I was afraid that I was showing a link to an anti-Semitic website, but it's not on there. I checked. It's not in this broadcast, I mean. You can check it for yourselves if you don't believe me. And it's already over 1 hour, so I wouldn't be able to edit it out with the YouTube function, which is really nifty. And I'm totally agreeing with YouTube policy. So I think it's a good idea to censor homophobic, racist and anti-Semitic content. And sometimes there are more important laws, so preventing World War III I think is more important even than preventing the rollout of the 5 cancer gene. Oh yeah, I was looking for that other source with, I've shown it in my previous broadcast for sure. I will check if I can show it. That has a very good overview of all the effects with links to scientific articles on governmental websites about the damage to human health caused by 5G.
METHYLCOBALAMIN, Stephanie Winner and Levin van der Suppen will introduce to you the potential impact of quantum computing and the quantum internet. Will you explore various application areas, such as quantum chemistry, quantum machine learning, encryption and secure communication, factorization and blind quantum computation? The course is aimed at a broad and diverse audience including policymakers, people with a scientific or personal interest, business executives and students at all levels. Source: second short article. The goal of a quantum internet is to connect quantum processors using long-distance quantum communication. The internet has had a revolutionary impact on our world. The long-term vision of this talk is to build a matching quantum internet that will operate in parallel to the internet we have today. This quantum internet will enable long-range quantum communication in order to achieve unparalleled capabilities that are provably impossible using only classical means. Stephanie starts by exploring what a quantum internet is good for, and gives an intuition why quantum communication is so powerful. She proceeds from the state of the art today, toward stages for a full-blown quantum internet. As an example, she discusses the efforts of the EU Quantum Internet Alliance, including the planned demonstration network connecting 4 Dutch cities in 2020. Stephanie Winner is an Antonie van Leeuwenhoek professor at Utrecht, Delft University of Technology, where she leads the quantum internet efforts. Her passion is the theory of quantum information in all its facets, and she has written numerous scientific articles in both physics and computer science. In a former life, she worked as a professional hacker in industry. This talk was given at a TEDx event using the TED conference format but independently organized by a local community. Tags: 5G, 5G danger, 5G health risks, 5G radiation, EMF, Internet of Things, IoT, psychotechnocrats, quantum internet, smart meters, Stop 5G, Stop 5G network, Stop 5G related, Stop 5G videos, Stop 5G.net, Wi-Fi, previous post. Next post: 1 response to major Dutch breakthrough quantum internet - no microwaves, no Wi-Fi needed. Admin.
So with this wireless energy technology of Nikola Tesla, they can sabotage everything. They can slow down your internet connection, give bandwidth to other people, and crash fly-by-wire planes. They are called into the WTC, for example, because their hydraulics are only controllable electronically. It's also a wiki, CIA Vatican edited encyclopedia article. So they're called fly-by-wire planes. I also covered this article: 5G is the stupidest idea in the history of the world, says Professor Emeritus from WSU. Well, how about not dismantling nuclear weapons or something like that? And it's about the electrosensitive people. Where can they go if they roll this out? let's see, history, because I want to show that website. 5G. appeal, perhaps. International appeal stop 5G on Earth and in space. To the UN, WHO, EU, Council of Europe and governments of all nations. This has the overview right here. Damage goes well beyond the human race, as there is abundant evidence of harm to diverse plant and wildlife. With sources also, so I could click on this, number 32. That's Warnke, UP's Birds and Mankind Destroying Nature by Electrosmoke. Competence Initiative for the Protection of Humanity, Environment and Democracy 2009, Natural Science Org. Okay, and then it takes me back, if I click on that number again. Effects in children include autism, attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, ADHD, and asthma. So here, and I should read this as well. In 2015, 215 scientists from 41 countries communicated their alarm to the United Nations, UN, and World Health Organization, who they stated that numerous recent scientific publications have shown that EMF, electromagnetic fields, affect living organisms at levels well below most international and national guidelines. More than 10,000 peer-reviewed scientific studies demonstrate harm to human health from RF radiation. 1011 Glaser Z cumulated index to the bibliography of reported biological phenomena, effects and clinical manifestations attributed to microwave and radio frequency radiation. And 11 Sage C. Carpenter Bioinitiative Report, a rationale for a biologically based public exposure standard for electromagnetic radiation. Effects affects harm to human health from RF radiation, radio frequency radiation. Effects include alteration of heart rhythm, altered gene expression, altered metabolism, altered stem cell development, cancers, cardiovascular disease, cognitive impairment, DNA damage, impacts on general well-being, increased free radicals, learning and memory deficits, impaired sperm function and quality. I read that scientific article with it in my previous broadcast. Superseding this one. Miscarriage, neurological damage, obesity and diabetes as well, and oxidative stress. Altered gene expression, it also sounds pretty... Our DNA damage is perhaps even better. Gene expressions. Who cares, you know, but DNA, oh yeah. Gene expression. Express yourself. You've got to make it. Impact of radio frequency radiation on DNA damage and antioxidants in peripheral blood lymphocytes of humans residing in the vicinity of mobile phone base stations. Abstract. We can read this abstract on tandfonline.com because it's pretty important. As well as that new study that's important, that makes clear that scientists are now convinced that it's toxic. It's radiation poisoning symptoms occur, and the list is very long. So DNA damage is just one of the harmful effects to human health of Cancercellphone radiation microwaves.
Impact of radiofrequency radiation on DNA damage and antioxidants and peripheral blood lymphocytes of humans residing in the vicinity of mobile phone base stations. Sothansama, Marizos Angzuli, Miriam Laurambanpui and Ganesh Chandra J.G. Shia pages 295-305, received April 27, 2017, accepted June 30, 2017, published online. August 4, 2017. Download citation https://doi.org/10.1081536837.2017.13505884. Full article figures and data references citations metrics reprints and permissions get access abstract radio frequency radiations, RFRs, emitted by mobile phone base stations have raised concerns on its adverse impact on humans residing in the vicinity of mobile phone base stations. Therefore, the present study was envisaged to evaluate the effect of RFR on the DNA damage and antioxidant status in cultured human peripheral blood lymphocytes, HBBLs, of individuals residing in the vicinity of mobile phone base stations and comparing it with healthy controls. The study groups matched for various demographic data including age, gender, dietary pattern, smoking habit, alcohol consumption, duration of mobile phone use and average daily mobile phone use. The RF power density of the exposed individuals was significantly higher, P0.0001, when compared to the control group. The HBBLs were cultured and the DNA damage was assessed by cytokinesis blocked micronucleus. MN, assay in the binucleate lymphocytes. The analyses of data from the exposed group, N equals 40, residing within a perimeter of 80 meters of mobile base stations, showed significantly, P0.0001, higher frequency of micronuclei when compared to the control group, residing 300 meters away from the mobile base station, S. The analysis of various antioxidants in the plasma of exposed individuals revealed a significant attrition in gliadothin, GSH, concentration, P less than 0.01, activities of catalase, CAT, P less than 0.001, and superoxide dismutase, SOD, P greater than 0.001, and rise in lipid peroxidation, LU, when compared to controls. Multiple linear regression analyses revealed a significant association among reduced GSH concentration, P less than 0.05, CAT, P less than 0.001, and SOD, P less than 0.001, activities and elevated MN frequency, P less than 0.001, and LU, P greater than 0.001, with increasing RF power density.
So yeah, this is the part that it's about. The analysis of data from the exposed group, N equals 40, residing within a perimeter of 80 meters of mobile base stations, showed significantly P is smaller than 0.0001, higher frequency of micronuclei when compared to the control group residing 300 meters away from the mobile base stations. Higher frequency of micronuclei. Exposed group. Okay, so this source is electromagnetic biology and medicine. Taylor Francis Online, tandfonline.com, tandfonline.com basically. So mobile phones, cordless phones, and the risk for brain tumors. I think I may have covered this in my previous broadcast as well. For most people, these things might be a bit too scientific. Well, when I see this picture of the rat or mouse or whatever it is, then I think it's a scientific thing, so it's probably going to die. So there are countless animals that have already died, so we could have these scientific articles like ScienceDirect.com. Exposure to radio frequency electromagnetic waves alters acetylcholinesterase gene expression. Exploratory and motor coordination linked behavior in male rats. Exposure to radio frequency waves alters gene expression and motor coordination linked behavior in male rats. Okay, not okay. So I'm not gonna read the whole thing, though you can read it on ScienceDirect.com. So this is the great website 5gspaceappeal.org, and this has the links to these scientific documents about the harmful effects of cancer-cellphone radiation, microwave, RF radio frequency radiation. Bookmark before I forget. Oh, and then it's already 1:30, 1:30. Done. I found it. Well, people can read the wiki article. I'm not going to do it now, it's for another broadcast, of course. And I think there's not much going on. I don't know if they're suppressing it. Should we read the Wikipedia CIA Vatican edited encyclopedia article on 5G? Maybe not.
"5G is generally seen as the fifth-generation cellular network technology that provides broadband access. The industry association 3GPP defines any system using 5G NR, 5G new radio, software as 5G, a definition that came into general use by late 2018. Others may reserve the term for systems that meet the requirements of the E2IMT 2020. 3GPP will submit their 5G NR to the E2. 1. It follows 2G, 3G and 4G and their respective associated technologies, such as GSM, UMTS, LTE, LTE Advanced Pro, etc. The first fairly substantial deployments were in April 2019, in South Korea. SK Telecom claimed 38,000 base stations, KT Corporation 30,000 and LGU plus 18,000, of which 85% are in 6 major cities. 2. They are using 3.5 GHz, sub-6, spectrum in non-standalone, NSA, mode and tested speeds were from 193 to 430 megabits per second down. 3. 260,000 signed up in the first month and the goal is 10% of phones on 5G by the end of 2019. 4. Verizon opened service on a very limited number of base stations in the U.S. cities of Chicago and Minneapolis using 400 MHz of 28 GHz millimeter wave spectrum in NSA mode. In May, download speeds in Chicago were from 80 to 900 megabits per second. Upload speeds were from 12 to 57 megabits per second. The round-trip delay time was 25 milliseconds. 5. It was reported in May 2019 that Verizon's 5G service would regularly hit 1 gigabit per second in some locations. 6 companies sell 5G radio hardware and 5G systems for carriers: Huawei, ZTE, Nokia, Samsung, Datang, Fiberome, and Ericsson.
So that's the Cancercellphone logo, 666 blood Vodafone logo, 666. And there are also Monsanto company products. Kellogg supposedly has it as well. Illuminati symbols. .info, that may be interesting also. An attacker intercepting, I'll read this then. I've never seen this type of message before.
Your connection is not private. The server could not prove that it is IlluminatiSymbols.info. Its security certificate is from ParkingCrew.net. This may be caused by a misconfiguration or an attacker intercepting your connection. net://cert_common_name_invalid. https://illuminatisymbols.info/666/.
So then I'm using cached pages if you do this to me, computer. So this is the web.archive.org website. Hurrah! IlluminatiSymbols.info, pleasure. A complete guide to Illuminati symbols, signs and meanings. Don't know if I've ever been on this site before. Le Chef. Hand signs, movies, cartoons, TV, music, logos. Well, you can read the piece about the peace sign.
The peace symbol designed by artist Gerald Holtom for the Campaign for Nuclear Disarmament in 1958. Holtom was inspired by flag semaphore used for communication at sea using signalmen holding flags. Modern semaphore includes signals for each letter of the alphabet. Holtom used the signals for N, nuclear, and D, disarmament, and juxtaposed them over a circle to create the modern symbol for peace.
Wow, that's so cool. Nuclear disarmament. Why not? So I think that risk of mutually assured destruction outweighs whatever argument they have to keep their nukes. And I don't love the bomb, I hate the bomb. Why would I love the bomb? It's stupid. So we see these logos and there's a story with it. Peace symbol is a broken cross. The peace symbol represents the broken cross. The ND explanation, I think, is better. I'm just copying this from my text. So is it clear now who developed 5G? Kleenex. Oh. No, that's not really what I was looking for. Cartoons, movies, and science. Latest symbols. I was seeing I in the pyramid. That's where to start. It's at the top. Well, if that's at the top, then let's read that. I'm quite interested in pyramids. I think they may have healing effects if they're phi shapes. Perhaps also Nubian pyramids. And orgone pyramids are great. And then there's a pyramid-shaped UFO video on universalpeace.gym.com. If you scroll to the bottom, that's a genuine Taiwan news agency reporting about it. So I think that could be real, charging itself with lightning. And these Scalar orb videos are on there as well. The donation button is now working on that page, and yeah, people can always fast forward or rewind if there's something important. So remember, try Something.Vegetarian on YouTube. Pyramids. Oh yeah, I also built a pyramid myself of copper pipes, one that I could sit in also. Phi shaped, of course. And the Supreme Court in Israel also has a pyramid that's quite resembles the pyramid on the dollar bill. So yeah, we can read this, webarchive.org. It's of course illuminatisymbols.info. If that page is not available anymore, you can still get it via catchpages.com.
All-Seeing Eye and the Pyramid. The Illuminati symbol Illuminati All-Seeing Eye, the most popular Illuminati symbol as seen on the American dollar, is the All-Seeing Eye, an Illuminati symbol. Illuminati symbols scale legend. The preeminent symbol of the Illuminati is the All-Seeing Eye floating atop a pyramid. This Illuminati symbol can be found on the American $1 bill, the world's most widely circulated note, along with the words Novos Ordo Seclorum, a new order for the ages. A common tenet among conspiracy theorists is that the symbols are hidden in plain sight. To some conspiracy theorists, the all-seeing eye represents the eye of Lucifer, ever watchful over the sheeple. The eye depicted is usually a left eye, as in the case of the Eye of Horus. The eye is floating over.
So in reality, our all-seeing eye is the internet, which goes straight around their lies to the truth around the mainstream media and their 2030 population reduction agenda. And it also exposes the Freemasons and Jesuits. So we have to expose what must be exposed and replace people that want to reduce the global population with competent ones, if they still exist, which I doubt a little bit. I mean, it's possible these people are extorted with directed energy weapons, but if they're real murderers, they should go to prison, you know. And if they're real rapists, whether they're pedophiles or not, they should go to prison, etc. And the government should be able to do its job. And I think it is not when they can torture people's teeth out of their mouth in pulsed energy predictable mode and kill people with this technology and send voice-to-skull, illegal voice-to-skull messages as well, then the potential for abuse and extortion is enormous, and a fair trial is impossible because of this synthetic telepathy and remote torture technology. So the taxpayers have no insight into what's happening in that direction. Though the government's supposed to tell them about these things, these may be black ops, black operations, projects, etc. So we the people have to basically build a scalar detector and technology to decode these scalar waves so we can make their legal voice to skull messages audible. And people can always put evidence on a CD or DVD-ROM to protect it against EMP, or put their hard disk or computer in a trash can, metal trash can, and ground it. So if it's just nuclear, it's quite easy to survive, perhaps. And it's possible people without a radiological water filter cannot survive. It's just the warmth of truth, I guess.
An unfinished pyramid representing that the Illuminati's work is never complete. The Roman numerals METHYLCOBALAMIN, 1776, at the base of the pyramid represents the founding of the Bavarian Illuminati. However, the Declaration of Independence, which officially gave birth to the United States of America consisting of 13 sovereign states, was signed on July 4, 1776. Officially, the I represents God and his many interventions in favor of the American people. The pyramid signifies strength and duration. It is unfinished because America continues to struggle towards perfection. The task of designing the Great Seal was first assigned to a committee made up of Freemason Benjamin Franklin, John Adams, attended the Nine Sisters Masonic Lodge in Paris, and Thomas Jefferson, a sympathizer of Freemasonry and the Bavarian Illuminati. This committee immediately incorporated the all-seeing eye into the design of the seal, which carried thought the second and third committee, where the eye was added to a 13-step pyramid. The final seal was finally adopted by Congress in 1782. Researcher Texas Mars writes in his Codex Magica that Rothschild agent Haym Salomon secretly assisted the Great Seal committees to fulfill the aims of the Illuminati. According to Mars, Rothschild got his wish and got the all-seeing eye on a pyramid symbol on the Great Seals of the United States. In 1935, 32 RD-degree Freemason President Franklin Roosevelt, seeing the all-seeing eye as Masonic representation of the great architect of the universe, suggested adding the all-seeing eye in the pyramid to the dollar bill. The connection between the Illuminati and the all-seeing eye logo was first made in 1955 in Dr. Emanuel Josephson's Roosevelt's Communist Manifesto, in which he detailed the links between communism and the Illuminati. Josephson describes an Illuminati conspiracy and its agent FDR completing the goals first set out by Adam Weishaupt and later Clinton Roosevelt in his The Science of Government Founded on Natural Law. Jefferson claims that Adam Weishaupt adopted the exact same design as the Great Seal as his insignia for his Order of the Illuminati. Roosevelt's Communist Manifesto, 1955. Roosevelt's Communist Manifesto, 1955, he writes, "Insignia of the Order of the Illuminati that Illuminus Jefferson made the reverse of U.S. seal. The above insignia was adapted by Weishaupt at the time he founded the order, on May 1, 1776. It is that event that is memorialized by the METHYLCOBALAMIN at the base of the pyramid, and not the date of the signing of the Declaration of Independence, as the uninformed have supposed. The significance of the design is as follows. The pyramid represents the conspiracy for destruction of the Catholic Church, and establishment of a one-world or UN dictatorship. The secret of the order, the eye radiating in all directions, is the all-spying eye that symbolizes the terroristic, Gestapo-like, espionage agency. Use of the all-seeing eye in European Masonic lodges in the 1770s. German Masonic Trestle Board, 1770. German Masonic Trestle Board, 1770. French Masonic Trestle Board. French Masonic Trestle Board. The Freemasons in France and Germany had incorporated the all-seeing eye into their symbolism by 1770, as can be seen from these Masonic Trestle Boards from the period. Pyramid as used by Adam Weishaupt's Bavarian Illuminati. Pyramid as used by Adam Weishaupt's Bavarian Illuminati. Use of the pyramid. The Bavarian Illuminati did use the pyramid in its ritual as depicted in this cartoon representation of a Minerval degree initiation. The Minerval carpet features a painted pyramid with stones scattered in front and the letters D and P on each flank. The pyramid represents the most serene order, aka the Illuminati, working together towards their common goal for the glory of the great architect. The letters D and P stand for Dio Proximo, nearest to God.
So the picture shows now a combination of the animated GIFs, legalize it, source, and the other one is anti-Jesuits and Masons, source. Okay, we've seen that before, so that's kind of boring. Audit the Fed is another idea. Trump had. And perhaps then he would have been able to pay for that ball. So yeah, the blood drop Cancercellphone logo, 666. Well, I'm kind of tired now. So that's on twitter.com, #stop5G. Already read this. Many scientists worldwide now believe that radio frequency radiation should be elevated to a class 1 human carcinogen on the same list as cigarettes, X-rays and asbestos. 3rd of June 2019, #stop5G, twitter.com. Perhaps there are other interesting articles that I haven't read yet. So they let the writer of this article forget 2 letters. There are no safe levels of chronic use of microwave radiation. There is no safe level of 5G microwave radiation for people, animals, or nature. Cell phone tower radiation pollution. Just the science about 5G. Take action, click here to send a message to your legislators. Stop5G.net. My street, my choice. Stop 4G, 5G cell towers from being installed on utility or light poles 15 to 50 feet from homes to protect your safety, privacy and property values. Duration of exposure to these microsecond pulses of electrical power, not intensity, is the most important factor. Duration of exposure. Biological effects of electromagnetic fields. Non-thermal radiation at cell phone frequencies induce a stress response. Non-thermal ELF magnetic fields induce stress response. To stop installing cell towers on our schools. Science is established. Part 1: Wi-Fi biological effects. So I'm convinced Wi-Fi increases your cancer risk. That's why I call it cancer Wi-Fi. Link to Wi-Fi in schools is not safe. And electrosensitive people and others can have various symptoms, also stomach aches, for example. Smart meter opt-out. How to. With before and after measurements. That's the HF35C. Gigahertz Solutions, that's the one I also have. To measure is the leisure, meten is weten in Dutch. Link to support legislative efforts to prohibit negative emissions releases, including EMR. zerogeoengineering.com. Because deliberate human intervention is in the Earth's weather and climate systems is a war on nature. Zero5G.com. There's no safe level of microwave radiation. Solution: wired connections. Faster, safe, more reliable, and more cyber secure than harmful wireless infrastructure. Parents for safe technology: how to avoid EMF radiation risks from computers, microwaves, etc. Eugenical sterilization in the United States. A report of the Psychopathic Laboratory of the Municipal Court of Chicago, Cold Spring Harbor, Long Island, New York, January 1st, 1922. X-ray treatment. The treatment for sterilization by X-rays consists in both sexes of subjecting the sex glands and backed by Bill Gates, Earth now wants to show us every inch of our planet in real time. Announces intent to deploy a large constellation of advanced imaging satellites that will deliver real-time continuous videos of almost anywhere on Earth. I think that would be cool if I could see myself from space and stuff like that. Cloudbusters help contribute to a stronger ozone layer, generate negative ions, but perhaps they could find a solution, quadrocket propellant, something without chlorine perhaps. Why Bill Gates wants to build an $80 million smart city utopia in Arizona. Military wants to develop RF phased array common modules for the defense industry. For cancer radar communications and electronic warfare EW. Well, basically I'm against electronic warfare and any other warfare. And for controlling of factors that control aging in time. 2018 Martin, Florida adoption of ordinance extending moratorium on placement of wireless small cells. Exposure of insects to radio frequency electromagnetic fields from 2 to 120 gigahertz. So these are all articles on Stop5G.net. Anthropogenic radio frequency electromagnetic fields as an emerging threat to wildlife orientation. Well, with the birds falling from the sky, I myself thought that this was caused by cancer chemtrails. And it could also be a combination. It could be designer virus in the cancer chemtrails, or, well, even Ebola, basically, airborne Ebola. Professor Bianca's favorite population reduction method. Airborne Ebola Reston. But, well, it could be true that it's caused by electromagnetic fields that pose a threat to wildlife orientation. So here we can also go to the next post. So this has a lot of information and it's verifiable, and the previous page is even better that I showed. The appeal 5G space appeal.org. That's the one with some scientific documents. Yeah, people can protest. People can make petitions, also on whitehouse.gov, for example. I thought, where's my camera? Alright, so it's 2:05, and for now, I'm beginning to become a bit tired, and I'm gonna get some more fruit juice, perhaps watch a movie, and get some sleep. So thanks for watching, like, subscribe, and share on your timeline. And for positive reviews, perhaps I would need an AdSense account. So then I could consider it, basically, if that could get me some views. Okay. Tune in next time and try Something.Vegetarian for universal peace. Ciao.